7 o'clock. How are you? Just gonna get everything set, done, ready. You know the drill, right? If you're on with me, please say hello. And in the meantime, I'm gonna finish setting up so we're ready to go. If I can write tonight. So if you're on with me, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. So, I'm still playing a little bit of catch up from being gone for, let's say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days. Well, hey, Miss Pam, how are you? So, let's see here. What are we doing tonight? We're going to be a little bit ambitious tonight. And we're going to do 6 cards with an organizer. Yeah. So, all right. So for tonight, first off, let me get it. First and foremost, if I can get it straight and ready to go. Mini catalog celebration. This goes live tomorrow. Okay? So if you have not planned on ordering, or if you have not told me, please do. So that way I can get it in for you in a timely manner. So, secondly, club order, and I'll go over this when we flip around, but I don't want to forget because there's a certain link so you can get freebies, okay? And then last but not least, I want hosts. Why? Because I no longer host classes. So it's up to you on what you want to do, okay? So I've got, let's see, the last Sunday of January. Also realize celebration is only January, February this year, not going to be a second rotation. So I've got January 29th and I've got February 12th, 19th, or 26th. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, the 19th might be gone. I need to update that flyer. So, okay. So there's that. And what else do we have? Is that enough? Last chance is finishing tonight. So if you have not ordered your retiring stuff, you need to. Second, tomorrow on my shop, so Stamping with Johnny. And if you click on shop, not the drop down, but the actual top that says shop, you will be able to see tomorrow at some point my personal retired stuff that will be for sale. But enough about that. We got 6 cards to do, right? So let me flip you around and we'll get to going. Maybe. There we go. Always an adventure, right? So, alrighty. Let's see how lined up I am. I had to readjust things. And I thought I adjusted correctly, but evidently I did not. So we're going to do it real quick and it'll be fine. All right, so for tonight's project, I've got 6 cards for you. One pack is a one sheet wonder. The other pack technique is how to do some watercoloring and how to do no line water painting and how to do with watercolor pencils and how to do it with lines. So just that simple. Let's see here. So the club, now that I've got you up and down, the club, you will get a pack of pastel adhesive pack sequins for free with any $50 or more order. It is one per customer, so please don't think if you put 2 orders in, or if you do, you know, $100, you'll get 2 packs. It is 1 per customer, so just FYI. So this is what we're making tonight. These are some extra cards I had that were alternate. They didn't make the favorite cut. I had to cut it at some point. I mean, oh my gosh, otherwise we'd have like 20 cards. So I liked this because I had done the embossing of the brick wall and done a cutout, but it wasn't my favorite out of the stack. So there you go. All right, so for tonight, we're gonna be using In the Country and Kind and Sincere. The Kind and Sincere is out of the mini catalog, and the In the Country is a free with $50 pick, free with $50 order from the Celebration catalog. Okay. So for tonight, this is what we are creating, or at least a version of. Okay, so this is a card holder, and this is a little bit different, and here's why. The card holder itself doesn't use any glue. I know, right? It's kind of crazy. So what you do is you stick the card, you loosen this up, and you stick the cards down in here, and then you pull this taut, and that is what holds them in, instead of the bottom pocket like we normally do, and then we have glue everywhere and all that fun stuff. So this is what we're actually making tonight. Kind of cool, right? So that's what I have in store for you. So let's see here. I told you about the retiring sets. Oh, if you want more than $99, I would really encourage you to sign up to be a demonstrator. That doesn't mean you have to do classes. That doesn't mean you have to do anything except order $300 a quarter, and your first quarter would finish in June. So anyways, it's a really good deal, and you get 20% off, which in California pays tax and shipping, right? Pretty much. Gotta love it. But so right now, $99 sign up, 100 gets you $175 in product. So normally that $175 would cost you $209.30, and as of tomorrow it'll cost you $106.67. So you're saving over $100 by signing up, and then you still get the discount. So anyways, just some things to think about. Also, if you host, the Scenic Garden is a cute set that kind of goes along the theme with this, and that is free with qualifying order, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's $300. Anyways, but we're gonna get to creating. How's that sound? All right, so for tonight, we're gonna make this cute and easy organizer, and then we're gonna make 6 cards. Now, this is my first night of doing it differently. I'm not doing a monthly online class anymore. Instead, I'm doing this as a mini class, and so every single week, usually on Monday, but because I was gone, we announced last night. But usually Monday, we will announce what the projects are. Wednesday, we'll do the live. By Sunday, you order. The next Monday, I ship out and announce the new. Okay? And that's how this is going to work. If you want to order it, you go to stampingwithjohnny.com and you click on the shop. And if you don't want to flip through everything, you can search for DIY kit. Make sure if you're a crafter, you click on the crafter one. And if you're on my team, you click on the team one. Just that simple. Yes, it's priced differently. That's another benefit to being on my team or signing up. So, all right. So this kit that you will get looks like this monster, but I should finish telling you about the cards first, right? All right, so here's the holder. I've already shown you that. We've got this guy. Now this is the No Line watercolor, and this is the with the line. So do you see the difference? Stamped in black and then stamped very lightly so you can color over and you don't really see any lines per se. All right. And then these are the, let's see here. This one just came out gorgeous. This was kind of a standalone. Okay. And then these are what I'm calling the one sheet wonders. So these all came out of a 6x6 sheet. Okay. So if you do not have, obviously you don't have the new set and you're not going to order it. Oh, you can use any sentiment that you have, but obviously I'd encourage you to order it, right? Of course. So, the DIY kit that you're going to get when you order, you're going to get your ribbon. You're going to get your mats that you need. You're going to get all your envelopes. Let me push this to the side. You're going to get a full sheet of white. You're going to get all your card bases. You're going to get your, this is going to become your pocket for your cards. And then you're going to get a sheet to make a whole sheet, which means you'll have extra to make this background here. And then you will get a full sample, 6x6 sample of the Dainty Flowers. And these are also out of the celebration. So you will get those. Obviously, you'll have extra to create other things. Or if you decide not to do it, you'll have a full pack of each of the designs. It's just that simple. Okay. So there's that. And it's all going to come in a shiny red envelope. So I'm going to put these up into the side so I can get other things going. And let's get started. The best part. All right. So if you are ordering tomorrow or any time before through the 15th, the host code you'll want to use is YM9D3, B as in boy, 4N as in Nancy. And that will get you the bonus with a $50 order of the adhesive back sequence. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do. All right. So to make this organizer, holder, whatever you want to call it. Okay. You're going to need 8.5 by 11. You're not going to trim it at all. What you are going to do is on the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 5.5, and then turning it on the 8.5-inch side, you're going to score at 2. Okay. And then I'm going to fold both of these, unfold this one, and then fold this one up. Okay. And what we are going to do now is we are going to not cut on the score line, but on either side of it just barely. And I'll explain in a minute why. So you're going to make kind of like a mini triangle that's about 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's so when it folds up, and then when you fold it in, those edges don't bunch. That's why you just take just a smidge off. Okay. So now we're going to do that. Now I'm going to use something we used to sell, but we don't anymore, but you can find it at Walmart, Michael's, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. Not that I said that officially, but you know, here we go. So this is a crocodile. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole. Now, if you need to measure, go for it. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. But if you're one that needs it to be perfect, please measure. It's just that simple. Okay. So that's where that ribbon's going to go. So you want to stay close to the edge, but you want to be within about 1/4 inch or so, because then you have enough room to put your cards down in there. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my ribbon. My ribbon is, how big? 16. Yeah. Let's see. About 30 inches, 28 inches, something like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this through. I'm going to start on my left side. And I'm going to push this through. And then I'm going to push this down. And grab it from the back. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to push this through. And then we're going to push this through. And then we're going to even it out at the end. Okay. So let's see. Try to make it so there's no twists. You know, all that fun stuff. And then obviously you're going to adjust as you get cards in there. But in the meantime, I am going to try to make it fairly even. So I'm going to adjust. Okay. Got it. So close enough for right now. We'll just say that. Okay. So there's that. Now I'm going to cut my pieces in parts so we can get going. Okay. So there is going to be some measuring to this, at least halfway, but in the meantime, we'll get going. All right. So first off, I'm not going to do the one sheet wonders at first. I'm going to do this one to do our warm up. Okay. So this one, because it's easy, we're going to do that as a warm up, and then we'll get these guys going, and then we'll get the rest of it. Okay. So, okay. So I have this. I need a regular card base. So I'm going to pull that from here. This is regular card base to me is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now the long skinny ones are 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 instead. So there you go. Okay, so we've got that. Now with this one, I need one of our 6x6s cut down, and then I need a piece, like a scrap piece of white. That'll be out of that big piece. And then I obviously need the crushed curry. That would be the color of the day. So the crushed curry is 5 1/4 by 4. You will have to trim it down a tiny bit because I gave you a quarter sheet just in case you needed something extra. Okay. And you'll need obviously your Stampin' Seal. If you want dimensionals, you can do those as well, but up to you on what you do, right? That's the name of the game, huh? So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab a slice off of our white, and that, let's see here, how big do I want this? Let's see, that's 5 inches, so that's probably like 4 3/4. We can always trim it shorter, right? So, alrighty. So let's move this for a minute. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my Pear Pizzazz to stamp my congratulations. Okay, I was looking for them in the normal place, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I moved them to make it easier for me. Go figure. So this is the Kind and Sincere set. This is on the right hand side, and this is in the mini catalog. So there you go. I'm going to put it a little bit sideways. It's a little bit longer than my block. I know you're not supposed to do this, but here we are. Okay. So I'm going to grab here, and we're going to do congratulations, hopefully straight. Enough. It will be fine. One of the beauties of stamping and doing handmade, right? Hardly ever comes out perfect. All right, so we've cleaned that off. And we do need to still cut that designer series piece. So I'm gonna pull this off, put that back in my stack, and find my designer series piece that I had used for this. And I'm like, which one was it? I know it's in here. There we go. Okay. Now, if you want to mix and match, feel free. It's really up to you on what you create. I'm just giving you guidelines. But not a big deal if you don't follow them, as always, right? So, all right, so I'm cutting this to 5 by 3 3/4. And, okay, now we can assemble. It comes together just that quick. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put some on there. I'm going to put this flat and hopefully be able to see enough without hanging over. Okay. And then if you wanted the watercolor, do the watercolor. It's up to you on how much you do or don't do, obviously. So there's that. So this kit with the 6 cards and the organizer is $15 plus shipping. Shipping is $6.95 flat. And it's all done easily on the shop. In the shop, rather. So there's my one down. 15 more to go, right? No, only 5. So, all right. So we're going to get that out of the way. Yep. All right. So where's my stack? Here's my stack. All right. So now we're going to do these guys. Okay. So these ones, let's see, that's a long and skinny, that's a long and skinny. So we're going to get those 2. I tend to think an assembly line. I don't know about you when you're stamping, but that's how my brain works. So now we're going to get the watercolor. That's this one. Okay. And we're going to get the leaves. That's this. No, that's this one. It's a bad game of memory, isn't it? So we've got that. And then I'm going to grab my white and we're going to trim all this down. And in the meantime, I'm also going to get my brown and trim that down for the front of my folder as well. A lot of cutting on this one, but it's all good, right? So let's see here. All right, so we're going to trim this down a bit. So this is at 4 1/4 right now. So I'm going to trim it down to 3 3/4 by 5. And if it's not short enough, we'll keep going, but I think that'll be enough for the front of my folder. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I know, all this craziness, right? I just grab my scissors, grab my snips, and I'm just going to take off my corners for decoration. And then what else? That goes for this card as well. So if you can't do this straight, you can do it in the trimmer. You can score it first. I mean, measure it however you need to do it. Okay. But in the meantime, that is going to go that way. These are going to go this way. Now I got to trim these guys down. These are both, no, they're not both the same. I don't believe. No. So let's see here. Let's make them both the same. We'll cut down some time. All right, so the leaves one, that needs to be long and skinny. That one needs to be long this way. You know what? I'm not going to confuse myself. All right, so we're going to go 5. And depending on what part you like, you're going to pick and then trim as needed. Okay, so that is one of them. And then I'm like, where'd my white one go? Okay, so that was at 5. That was a 1/2 inch in. So we're going to do 4 1/2. 4 1/2 by, so that's an inch in. So that means this is going to go from 4 1/4 to 3 1/4. And that's going to be for both of these. Okay, so that's my piece. And then this guy needs to go to 3 3/4. Make sure it's flush against that edge. Okay, and then this is by 5. Okay, so that should be all my pieces and parts. How we doing? You keeping up? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the line and the no line. Okay, so got to get our stamp, right? Okay, so what we're going to do with this, I think I'm just going to do this one, the building kind of one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Daffodil Delight, and you're like, that doesn't even match anything, right? Yeah, I know, but here's what we're going to do. We are going to stamp, 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 ink this up ever so slightly. And then we are just going to stamp this in the middle. Okay. Now we know where to color, but after we color, not much of it should show up. If it does, we stamp too heavily and we got to start over. But it should be good. Then we're going to grab our black. After stamping off as much as we possibly can, grab our black. Now we grab black because it's water resistant. It's not completely smear proof, but it will definitely resist some of those blends and it won't smear as much. If you want it to completely be smear proof, then you need to go with your StazOn. Okay. StazOn is our permanent ink. Do you remember the markers that used to stink to high heaven? So those markers, imagine in a pad, okay? That is what we have. So yes, you need a special cleaner. You need actually StazOn cleaner for it. And yes, you really, really do. There's not a substitute for it because otherwise, if you don't clean it off, it will eat your stamps away. Just that simple, especially the photopolymer ones. So there's that. Okay. Not trying to say, but I'm gonna say. All right. So make sure not to lose our little corners there. And I'm gonna grab our pencils. And I've got some blender pens in here. But let's see, I need gray for the bricks. So I'm just going to scribble, scribble, scribble. And after we do the blender pen, it will float all this color quite nicely and make it look like it was supposed to be this way. I love the blender pens. They come in a pack of 3. I believe it's for $12. Keep them in a Ziploc bag so they stay a little bit longer, don't dry out as fast. But yeah, they're an amazing product. They're a glycerin-based product, and they're just really, really cool how they work. All right, so this one, notice how the lines kind of disappear because they're not black. So we'll let a little bit of it come through. But do you see how that kind of just goes, shall we say? So I love the fact that the lines are not prominent. There might be still a little bit of line, but it's not prominent. That's what I like about that. So that's what I've got so far. Let's see. I need some green. for our mossy plants, windows, all that fun stuff. So we've got here, I forgot to get in there with the gray. We can't forget the gray. Yes, it looks messy, but that blender pen is just going to float it ever so slightly and ever so nicely. Okay, so let's see. I've got my green. We're just gonna float and color all those bushes and all that fun stuff. All right, here's a plant, here's a plant, here's a plant, here's a plant, here's a plant. Okay, now what other colors? I need something bright. Let's do like a red for the windowsill. If you want it darker, go over it a couple more times. There's some bricks over here, so we'll do them a little bit lighter. We're doing eclectic here, so I am not super concerned about being exact. If you need to be exact, you're going to be in it for a little bit more time. We'll just say it that way now, won't we? So, all right, so now I'm going to grab my brown. Got some pots down here. I got a pot down here. Pot. I forgot the green. Right here. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my blender pen. Now these are glycerin based. You want to start with the lightest color first. And you want to do that since our inks are water based. It'll smear a bit, which will make them look that much more watercolored. Awesome. To clean them off, just wipe them off. So let's get this green going. And get that green. Get that green. Get that green. So I'm going lightest to darkest because I don't want to mix my colors, because then I won't have a true color. It'll just look like mud. So you do want to wipe off in between, especially if it's red. See how there's a little bit there? So you want to wipe off in between, because otherwise you will end up with kind of a mush. We'll just say that. So just gonna blend this in. If you want to use watercolor paper, you can do that as well. It's a little bit more porous, and so the color goes in differently. It's differently textured, but you won't have any piddles with the paper. Notice I'm moving very fast because I don't want my paper to kind of disintegrate underneath me. That's why I'm moving as fast as I am. That, and I don't think you want to be here till 10 o'clock at night. I could be wrong though. Just teasing. So we're going to color that pot, color those plants, color that pot, color those plants. And that is the no line. See how different they look though? You just never know. So I love the fact that everything can be so different depending on how much you do. So, all right, so we're going to smear this around a tiny bit. We're going to get a little bit of gray on those steps. Notice I colored them beforehand. Now, did you notice how the lines are staying very sharp? That's because we used that Memento pad instead of a water-based pad. So if you want your lines really sharp and to stand out and to be an outline, you want to make sure to use the Memento Tuxedo Black, or you can also use a StazOn. StazOn has a lot more steps and an extra cleaner. So I will say that I tend to avoid using StazOn unless I really want to use it. So StazOn, you can also use, let's pick up a little bit of ink. I think I missed one step there. You can also use StazOn for glass, wood, cork, all kinds of different things. So it's a really cool tool, but it definitely has its uses and definitely has an extra step to it. So you want to make sure when you're intending to use it that it's the right time and place. Okay, so I have definitely used it on like kitchen tiles that are not glazed already, and I've stamped stuff on there and then sealed them. It's a really cool technique, but it definitely takes some skill because as you're stamping it tends to slide. So all right, so those are the two. See how different they are? So that is what I have for those. All right, now I gotta find my card bases and all of this other, right? So, all right, so let's see. Stamp and seal. Okay, so we're gonna throw this on here. Hopefully in the right order, right? So we've got here. So if you wanted this more defined, obviously I'd stamp with a darker color, but that was the whole point of what we were doing, right? So let's see here. So that's gonna go over there. And then this one, we are gonna do here. And we're gonna stick this on here. If you cannot get it to lay straight, fold back your card, lay it flat, and you'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. Then we got to do these corners, right? So we're gonna grab our glue dots, and I'm gonna grab my snips, and my snips are going to allow me to get those glue dots in the right place. Now make sure your triangles are facing the right way. Obviously on the first one it doesn't matter because I can make it fit wherever, but make sure that you've got them facing the right way. Sometimes they're cut and they're like, oh, that one doesn't look right there, you know? Or you've got it flipped over upside down or something. Triangles can be finicky, huh? So let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna grab and put this one up here. You're going as close to the edge as possible, and this is giving it kind of a framed kind of look. So let's see. This one's gonna go down there. So I'm gonna flip this over. Now I'm putting 2 on each one because I don't want it to swivel. If I only had one, it would still kind of tilt or turn on its own. So we want to make sure that it stays put, right? So there's that one. And then that one's going to go there. Let's make sure it doesn't look better some other way. It doesn't really matter this time. Sometimes it does. So we're going to put 2 on here. Okay. Put 2 on here. And then we're going to stick this here, and that is our framed card. And look how different each one of those looks, you know? You just never know, do ya? It's all good. All right. So there's that. Let's see. These are all the envelopes, so I can put those to the side. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this one sheet wonder thing. Now, this is pretty simple, right? So I'm actually not going to create these cards, but what I am going to do is show you how to cut it, okay? So, with all that being said, we're going to grab the pink one and we're going to grab the blue one. Now, if you want different, go for it, but that's what I have. And then this one is going to be your freebie that you can do whatever you want with. Kind of cool, right? So let's see here. All right. So Let's see. Are any of these directional? Yes, of course they are. So, all right. So for this one, the One Sheet Wonder, you're going to go and you're going to cut 1 at 5 by 1. So we're going to turn it sideways. And I know this one you can't tell, but this one you can because it's directional. So I'm going to cut off the bottom here. And I'm going to go to 1 inch. And then I'm going to cut another inch off because it's a 6 inch, right? And we want it 1 by 5. So if I don't have much plans for these squares, but I'm going to keep them anyways, just in case I need them, right? So there we go. Okay, so we've got the 1 by 5. Now we're going to do 2 1/4 by 5, and then we're going to do 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. Got it? You sure? Okay. All right, so this is 5 inches here. That's 5 inches, right? Okay, so we're going to go 5 by 2 1/4. Okay, so we've got our 2 here. And then if we've done everything right, we should have, let's see here, 5 by 3 3/4. So cut it in half. We've got 2 1/2. So there we go. Okay. So those are all our pieces and parts. Now when I line all this up, you'll go, oh, that's how it comes together. Okay. So for this one, you've got this piece and this piece. Then you've got a white piece going across. Okay, this white piece I did pop up with the dimensionals. Got it? So that's that card. Then, let's see. Where's my stack? Where is my stack? I think I'll put them on the other side. All right. So let's see here. No. I love it when I lose things. I really, really do. Where did I put that stack of cards? They have to be right here. That's the other one. Ah, hiding under the envelope. Sorry about that. Okay, so then this one is this, the skinny. Okay. And this. Now, if you don't like that direction going that way, flip it over, do whatever you want, right? But that is for that one. And then last but not least, we've got this one. And this one is this piece here. And the other one of this. And then a white piece cut. So they're actually really simple cards. I wanted to give you a jump start for the new year because I don't know about you, but I did so many Christmas cards that I was behind and I needed some extras per se, right? So that's why I did this kit for you. So that way, hopefully you can get things up and going. We'll just say that, huh? So, all right, so now what we've got, let's do this guy. So I'm just going to make sure to stay on the paper. Go right on the edges. And then this is going to go, make sure the bottom's on the bottom, okay? That's going to go there, okay? And then depending on how big you want your square or what shape you want it, or I mean, you could punch it, you can do whatever you darn well please, huh? So I'm going to do a 2 by 3 just to be different because I know the other one was bigger, but it's okay. We're just going to do different, huh? So that's going to go like that. And if you like the other side better, use the other side. That's why it's your kit, not mine, right? So now I'm going to find my white. This is the fun part of things. Finding everything, right? All right. Found my piece of white. We're good. No problem. And now we're going to pick one that fits on here. And I'm going to do thanks this time, but you can also do all the smaller ones as well. You could do to you. You could do heartfelt. But I think I'm going to do thanks. Because I think I might give this to somebody as a thank you gift. We'll see. So, okay. So I'm going to grab my green. Staying with my theme of my green. And I'm going to do here. Yay. And then I'm going to grab our leaf. I'm going to stamp off first so it's a little bit lighter. Stamp off. If I remember all the time to stamp off, it will be great. So let's see. Do I want any more? No, I think that's enough. So, okay. So now that's going to go on the front. And almost done. Okay. Let's get this folded and up. Okay. And so now I think I'm going to put this down here like this. So where did my stamping cell go? I put it back where it belongs. Heaven forbid. So, okay. So there. And you could decorate with gems or all kinds of stuff. It's up to you on what you do. Okay. And I'm going to stick one in here so you can see it at work. So we just loosen up our ribbon. We stick this down here. So when you punch, if you're too much towards the center, your card's not going to fit, right? That's why I said what I did. So, and then we are going to tie it really quick. So when you're done with this complete kit, you will have 6 cards and this little holder, okay? So that's kind of cool, huh? So that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and follow me tomorrow on the blog, 9:30 in the morning. There'll be a full tutorial on how to do this, as well as all 6 cards, and a link to this video. So you will be good to go. All right. And I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow the new catalog starts. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Have a great day. And remember, you have till Sunday to let me know about the kit. Bye-bye.